Welcome back to the Steel Legion, you beautiful people. So, last episode we got our base pretty much blown back to the Stone Age. And it has been quite a while. I figured you guys probably didn't want to see me just repairing up a base for like 2 in-game weeks. A few bad things did happen. So, one of the artillery shells did manage to land in and wipe out most of our food. But, thankfully, the sun blocker has now gone. So, we are slowly getting a harvest back in. We did lose Bates, who turned out to be our best planter, so crops coming in are a little bit slow. So I'm thinking we probably have to go and recruit and hopefully get someone that can do some plants as well. Crocodile and Fasto are doing their best at trying to get everything repaired up and rebuilt everything. They're getting there slowly. As for what we've actually built in that time, pretty much a sweet ore for being honest. We got a steel smelter going. Idea being that we can get some more steel out of it. Bringing down the corpses into chem fuel, then whatever's left, well, their armour and that, then gets stripped back down into some of its core components. Not super efficient, but does help train crafting, which is always good, and gives us an extra bit of resources to play with. Now, what we do have is the ability to start kicking out Imperial armour sets. Slight issue being, they require Devil Strand. So if we want to make it an Imperial Guard flak jacket, that is 30 Devil Strand right there. Now I'm not sure if this is a new update, but this is quite interesting. If we go in textiles, we can choose what we make them out of. Frumbo Fur does give a lot of extra durability to the sets, so does Architect Mass, and I'm hoping that Synth Thread or Hyperweave might do something pretty useful for us. We would like that. We'd like some very powerful armor sets. Even though they're flak jackets and they offer like 75% armor penetration, yeah, it's not going to keep us alive. Not against some of the things that we're coming up against. All of the Xenos Biologist mods have been updated, same as the Adeptus Mechanicus mod. So if we take a little ganders down here, we now have our quad heavy stubber, which has a turret on top, which is awesome. And then we also built this last episode, which is the heavy machine gun turret. And that thing saved our bacon. Considering everything that we fought, we only lost one colonist. Turned out to be like one of our best colonists, but details, we're playing as Imperial Guard, everybody is hyper expendable. So we have a pirate demands coming in and they want us to pay 14,256 silver, and failure to pay will be met with aggression. But she is gracefully willing to give you a day to pay. Yeah, not a chance are we paying off some pirates. We are here to fight orcs, Xenos, Tau, heretics, and if a bunch of space pirates want to get in our way, we will gun them down. That's not going to be a problem. It is going to be a tough fight because we are not in great armor. We do not have great guns. We've got some decent kit, but a lot of our defenses, I just realized, are pretty much geared up to take down orcs. So if these guys come flooding in large numbers, we might actually be in quite a lot of trouble. Now, what we have done is we've set the artillery pieces in the back. We have a few artillery shells, nothing crazy, but we can definitely use these to start shelling anything that comes onto the map. So let's man the artillery piece, let's get it loaded, and so when it comes to actually start shelling them as they attack, we will be in a situation to defend ourselves. And as was pointed out in the comments, we definitely need to get rid of these trees because, well, the enemy comes in here and they can use them as cover. And what I did want to say is we are going to call this episode Fortress Proclamation because our plan is to dig in. Some proper deep defences are going to start being laid. So this area here is going to start getting walled off. Then we're going to create another choke point here. Create an anchor point onto this geothermal, and then we can secure this part of the map as well. So our base will be kind of like this, like a pretty big semicircle. We do have an ancient danger there that we'll open up soon and get onto. And Fusto, where are you off to? You're going down there. Well, if there's 2 hours until the pirates arrive, mate, I'd prefer to have you back at the base. Don't want you getting caught out in the open because you'd be dead. Well, with that all being said, I thought it was going to be space pirates. It is just tribals. Which means we have absolutely sweet all to worry about. There is going to be a few of them. How many are we saying here? We're saying 23. Okay, so 23 tribals coming in. We can take that easy. That's like, what, 2.5 each? Las guns versus people in cloth armor. I like those odds. And spike traps work quite well against people in no armour. Other than that, guys literally just ran through all of them. But details, first gun on the corner is the Ripper shotgun, which is just going to put through such a massive amount of hurt. And yeah, I don't think they're going to do super well. I'm liking this. This setup does need a change because it is not going to scale. But once we have a little bit more stuff going on, we should be pretty fine. We're going to have turrets of overlapping fields of fire. We're going to have our guys put in situations where they can't get into close combat. Because like I said, our armor sucks. And in close combat, I think that is where we're going to be at our weakest. And also when orcs show up, getting into close combat with them is a terrible idea. Those things are ferocious once they're getting close. But, since these are humies, is there going to be anyone worth recruiting? We do have Dory Cry, might be worth taking on. Body Purist, bit of an issue. Brawler, bit of an issue. And Chemical Fascination. But we can sort that with trait releases. However, 13 in plants, which is going to be super huge. Then when they're not doing plants, they can go into crafting. Which I think for us should work out pretty well. So Crocodile, do us the solid and capture them. And were you going to be any good? Talented Swordsman, you can do plants. Teetotaler, Jogger, Fossliner, Bloodlust. Ooh, they are actually amazing. Augustus, you can do medical. How would you like to go and... No, you can't tend here. Shame. Let's just settle for capture and hope that we can get on to healing them in time. Did have to change the medical supplies over, so these guys could be treated with industrial medicine. They're trying to run off and get the herbal, which they definitely would have bled out in that time. So the good one is now up to 2 hours, and then Dorcry is back up to 8. They are going to take a while to get sorted and heal up. But in the meantime, let's get this set to convert. And then with a resistance of 10 and resistance of 8, I think that we should have them with us pretty soon. Going to need to grab some more medical supplies, and we'll get back onto the old healing, and everyone should be pretty good. And thankfully, Cure Scars has just been researched, which means one of our guys was proper mashed up and covered in scars. Left arm burned off, scar, short. Yeah, I'll tell you what, we're not actually in the best of health. Cool. We can deal with a bunch of it with the scars. We are going to be start working on some prosthetics pretty soon. But we're going to skip the prosthetics and go pretty much straight to advanced bionics. Because with the advanced bionics mod that we're using, advanced bionics have the same rating as Architect bionics, if that makes sense. And then Architect bionics have even better rating on top of that. So you can end up with some super soldiers, and that is why we are playing with unlimited. We're not going to go too crazy with the bionics, but we are going to need some very good bionics. Just because our armor is going to suck so much, we need something underneath that's going to keep us alive. And we also have a whole bunch of heresy planned. Or unless you will call, say, and then it'll be totally okay. There's going to be a lot of heresy. New Radar Tribals coming in, so let's go try out. Actually, I'm not even really sure what we're going to try out. We haven't built anything new. We have just been trying to sort the base, get everything to where it needs to be. We are now running low on power, so we've got an extra geothermal going in, which is going to be down here. Tribals being tribals, there is a fair shot that they're just going to come in and smash that down, which would be less than ideal, that's for sure. Actually, that being said, what we have made is we have started kicking out our own Armageddon pattern helmets. If I said the quality on them was good, I would be lying to you. The quality is pretty poor, but details. This is our first set of building we've done. And okay, they just bypassed all of our defences. What we don't want is we don't want them going onto the turrets, because, well, we kind of need them. And we don't want them getting shot up, because we've lost them a few times and they're super expensive. So I think gun line in the back, that forces them straight onto us. And if we can actually bring every gun to bear at once, that is not a problem. And who's only got 3 in shooting? You. Porthia. 3 in shooting. That is super bad. Do you remember the Imperial Guard? Do you remember how to shoot a gun? if you're on KDO, like before you can walk, you may be able to shoot and strip a gun. Well, this is Armageddon, so probably similar standards. Right, let's keep moving in. And, since we've got the chance, are you going to be able to get a quick sleeper, cold tolerant, farmer? Not great. Nope. Trigger happy, plants, talented armourer, cold tolerant, pessimist, no. And Stalk, what about you? Crafting, farsighted, tough, slowpoke, neurotic, craven. With a little bit of work, you could be particularly handy. Right, let's go pull off Augustus. And you are going to rescue Stalk, I believe it was. Yes. Cool. Stalk, how long do you have? You've got 16 hours, alright, plenty of time. And with us then, let's start pushing down and taking some of these guys out. It doesn't look like they're fleeing. They're just wandering. And Dinosaur, are you going to be ferocious? Not bad. Gifted is such a good trait. Too smart, not a massive issue. We can deal with too smart. They just basically have mental breaks, but they learn quicker. So it turns out we can fight tribals, which I'll count as a victory, I guess. If we couldn't fight tribals, I'll be more worried. And where is everyone going? Beating out fire. Okay, let's sort this out. Let's take that off to home zone. And there's nothing over there that we want now, other than we are hunting some buffaloes. Cool. Mechar is coming into cause some problems. We did get a new recruit, so we just changed them across to GNU, and then we got Dorocry has come in as well. So we got 2 of the guys that we just pulled in. There is 4 of them. We did go and pick up one more. I forget what their name was, but it turned out they were a very talented cook. Now we got someone else who is a decent cook. We are not using Belarus as our cook anymore because he can't clean. Who was it? Okay, we were using Ponthea as our main cook, but Ponthea is really good at a bunch of other stuff, so it seems to be a bit of a waste just to keep them in the kitchen. So we are bringing one more in, who hopefully then will be our chef. And that's pretty much all they're going to be good at, and they could do some other jobs on the side. So I'm thinking main job will be cooking, and then after that it will be cleaning, because our base is turning into a right state. Having these extra people around is going to be quite useful, and we're going to need to keep an eye on this termite and see where it goes and see what it tries to blast through. Because termites are super annoying, because their strategy is to find a wall and they just go through it. So there is a fair old chance that they might just aim for the research lab. No, cool, they're going straight for the kill zone. Okay, everyone into defensive positions. Okay, GNU, you don't have a gun, buddy. Let's find you something. Okay, we got no Imperial weaponry left. Okay. GNU, I hope... Actually, wait a second. That looks like an axe. Cool, GNU, you got an axe, mate. go take those Mechanoids on in close combat. That could never go wrong for yous. Well, maybe against the Ciphers it might. But Lance is usually really good. Termite isn't going to do too much. I do like the way that they attack. They just kind of stay back, let the termite do the tunnelling, and then they're just going to go through the breach. Once multiple termites show up, this might be an issue. But at the moment, just a couple of them, and it's clearing the rocks out. So it looks like the Mechanoids are deciding to trigger in. And those spike traps done a surprising number on the Lancers. So we are not even mad about that. That is super good. And if they are shooting up at the turrets, we have very little to worry about. Well, because they don't do a massive amount of damage. But hitting a Humi, that is problematic. Okay, they've still got Ciphers in support, so we're going to need to be a little bit careful about this. But we don't want them going into our research lab this early on. They would be able to cause a whole bunch of damage in there, because that is some pretty expensive kit. Okay. Yeah, man. GNU, man, you're fighting a Cypher. How does that feel? Yeah, he's got that. Cool. You're not going to die on me, are you? No, you got 16 hours, you're good. Right. Well, dealt with it, I guess. But it turns out Herring died. So that was the guy that we're going to have as the chef. He died of an infection, which is a little bit annoying. Seeing as we were giving him decent medical care, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so most of the prisoners we've brought in we are giving industrial medicine to. Just, you know, keep them somewhat healthy. less likely to get an infection this way. And if they do get an infection, because they spend all the time in the bed, they should heal. But I take it because we rallied a little bit early and we've been in here, the infection overtook the immunity. Well, that's kind of how infections work in this game. But yeah, well, not the end of the world. A little bit annoying, but I guess Ponthea can just carry on cooking. A rock and a hard place comes to mind when I see this. So Augustus going off doing his hunting thing and is now pinned in against a whole bunch of Muffalo. Those Muffalos are going to strip through those shields in no time. Thankfully he's a power armor, so he has some sort of chance. And Cowboy is pretty close by. Cowboy also has a pretty poor las rifle. Is Augustus going to die? No. Is he going to take a kick in? Yes, and his eye is already mashed up. So let's try to pull him down if we can. But they are through his armor. Okay, so that's 2. Keep pulling back. And we just got to hope the others can get in time. That being said, he is not going down. Okay, no, he's down now. 20 conditions. Just casual as you do. And those Muffalo are not going to give up. They are coming straight for us. We basically just made a manhunter pack that isn't going to be suffering from scurvy. And what is your range? Okay. This is such a good gun. Normally not a massive fan of shotguns, but this thing just shreds absolutely everything. Okay, Crocodile, you're pretty quick. You are going to go and rescue Augustus, and then everyone else is going to go off draft. Well, this looks pretty PG. A Orc Wah is just coming in, and we might not be in the best situation to deal with this. Has to be said. But anyway, we are the Imperial Guard, and that is what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to have a few people out of cover. Stork, you not got a gun. Someone's got... Yeah, you might have your las cannon equipped, so drop the shotgun. And then we can give that to Stork. So Stork will then have one. And then let's get Margarita. Run you straight over here, if you would kindly. Not get chomped on by the big squig, if possible. No, I think that squig's coming no matter what. Awesome. This is going to be challenging. Okay, the colossal squig seems that's going to go down. Then there's a bunch of little squigs coming in. Dealing with them, that should be fine. And they do have a couple schnaz guns, big shooters, power claws. Close combat, we're done. But most of the vanguard has been wiped out. Okay, I'm going to need to move you there. Gnu, you're not going to be too much use there, so you move to here, and then you to there. And so long as we're in cover, we should be fine. I don't think the orcs are going to retreat. And all we got to do is just make sure they don't get too close, which is obviously going to be a lot easier said than done, because in close combat we will get done by the orcs. Now we do have the turrets, so we've got the heavy machine gun turret and then the heavy stubber. So maybe, just maybe we go something like this. Because if they can't shoot us, they will aggro onto the turrets. Gonna just poke your head around there, mate. Get out of dodge. Power claws are in. Okay. Everything onto Hellstomper. And who's next? You are. And next one onto him. Cool. Turrets are buying us a whole bunch of time. Sweet. He is using the embrasures against us, so let's move back a little bit more. Cowboy, how long you got? You got 5 hours. And Margarita, you got 6. We might be able to clear this. Okay. All coming from the top. You guys start moving back in. Guys with the shields go in front. I think Margarita just got tagged. No. Oosh. Oosh. Was not expecting to pull through that one. Happy days. And we were missing like 3 people from that fight. That's probably why we were in cover. Cool. Right. Everyone off draft. Now let's get our best doctors onto the rescuing. You rescuing her. You rescue Cowboy. And you've only got 2 conditions anyway. Sweet. Okay, now Fasto. Start stripping these orcs down, because they got a tendency to get back up. And seeing as you're around, Bothea. Are there... Yeah, there's a couple guys over here. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. All we've got to do is... Oh, that's actually a long old burst. Cool. We can sell the orc armor. That's cool. We'll get a decent amount for that. Nothing amazing. We've also now got a bunch of power claws. Do you know what we're going to do? We are going to make Yorick. Okay. What type of power claw is that? That's a plastic one. That's going to be way cooler. Equip this. We're going to give you a funny eye. And then we're going to call you Yarick from now on. Yeah. We got Commissar Yarick in the ranks. Tidy. I like that. I like that a lot. In classic bug style, the bugs managed to spawn at just about the worst time possible. So Augustus is down. He has now 8 hours until he bleeds out, which obviously isn't fantastic for us. Everyone else is going to start getting into defensive positions. And with that, let's move Matey with the power claw to the end. So at least if the bugs come around the corner, we can shoot them. And they are going to start making their way through that, I guess, the death maze at the moment. Super slowly. Most of the guys now do have the Armageddon Rebeavers with the update to 1.3. And then the secondary update, well, the patch on top, they now look proper. Things that we do need to do is get new helmets. So they have the goggles. So then the goggles go over that gap in the gas masks. And that should look pretty sweet. Let's start moving forward. Let's chase the bugs back. And then maybe... Augustus, how long you got? You got 7 hours. We can then start clearing out the area. Gnu's on his way back already. You are not in the best situation. We haven't got another door there. So you go this way. You probably should be able to get in time. And we're going to have to push through there. And then try to get onto the bugs without getting so close to the bugs that they can just shred us apart. Because, well, bugs in close combat are going to cause us a lot of damage. Now, Belarus, you're off here, and you are rescuing Augustus. That's the first thing we're going to do. Cowboy got tagged by, looks like one of the shotguns. But we should be good. Gnu's safe. Now let's move back out. These bugs over here, are these going to start respawning? No. So we do have a little bit of a buffer zone now. And this is going to be the primary layer of defense. Going to have autocannons on this side, autocannons along here. The troops are going to land, well, walk across this bit. Then we're going to have a wall, so everything is going to be connected so that we are going to be able to move through without ever having to be out in the open. So we shoot, once we're about to get overrun, we retreat, and then we'll move back into another layer, which will be like there. And I think that should buy us plenty of time, especially against things like the Wars, because taking them head on, we've got lucky. Is how I would describe that. And that luck will run out. And another little bug problem, as always, kicking off. But I think this time we should be fine. Turns out I haven't given Augustus a gun yet. And Belarus, do you want to come over here, mate? You've got the power claw instead of having Augustus there. You're going to be able to do more. I think you just got clocked by something. What took you down so quick, mate? He's just not in the best of health, so he just went down. Cool. Well, that's a section of the bugs done. So let's get you off there. You're rescuing Augustus. And then we'll get Belarus. You're not going to be much use in a firefight. Stalk, you're somewhat hurt, so you go off here. And let's move down this way and carry on purging some of these bugs. Because they are just going to keep on being annoying at the moment. So we might as well get rid of them. Thankfully, they're not reproducing like in the other series. Otherwise, we would have been in a slight bit of trouble, is how I would have described that. Actually, that being said, there really isn't all that many of them. It looks like there's a lot on the minimap, but yeah, no, I don't even think we need to deal with that. Cool. Let's get back to hauling some rocks. So I'm not sure if this is going to be a super dangerous mission or quite a lot of fun. Okay, yeah, no, I see what the catch is. So recently rescued 11 Tau from a mechanoid hive's holding pen. Okay, and wants me to guard them for 19 days, but we'd get 1,165 gold and a persona core. Fortunately, they are Tau, So that is a no-go. For some reason, I thought it was just going to be one prisoner, and then maybe we do it. But 11 Tau, we don't like the Tau, so that is not going to be a thing. And what we've also managed to do is get an advanced geothermal generator. Produces 5,200 watts. Do not mind that at all. That is basically like a mechanoid power cell, which is super good. Those walls there will need to be reinforced. And thinking maybe what we do, we tunnel through here. So then that forces everyone through this section. And then when it comes to actually crafting this kill zone as such, we know everything will be coming through here instead of it being able to come across here and then up. Because that might affect our turret placement. But we are bottlenecking on granite like crazy. And also steel. We do have, what, 21 chunks in here? But our guys are not the fastest crafters. And where we've got so much other stuff being crafted as well, it is taking its toll. Meaning, we are just not processing through things as fast as we should. Once bionics are up and going, we should be sorted. And then we'll be in a very good situation. But right now, our main focus is trying to get this area here sorted. Because this is going to be the most important part of our defences. And actually, all being said, why don't we just cancel that? And then instead of having the wall there, we just move the wall to along here. Double layer it, and then we need to layer here as well. And very, very little is actually going to be able to punch through into that geothermal. Because turrets are just going to be pelting them like crazy. And then maybe chuck a second wall across here like this. So then it will encourage the pathing to go around instead of hug it across. Do you know what? I think that's a bang up idea. Let's do that. So across like yonder should do. And it'll offer no protection from this side. And we can't shoot from there anyway. Cool, 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 cool. And then cancel these. Reinstall that to there. And then move all of these walls across. And I think that should make this kill zone a little bit better. With having drought after drought after drought, we are not getting very far at all on producing our own Devil Strand. Now that Devil Strand is going to be super important because that is what we need to produce our own armour. Okay, so without Devil Strand, we have no flat gear. And without flat gear, well, just look at GNU. We are not very tough and we are super squishy. So we need our own kit coming out, which means that we need Devil Strand. We need our own Devil Strand, and with all the droughts, we are just not getting any. Now, I did want to use hydroponics, but right now, we don't really have a choice. So we're going to start chucking them down. They're expensive, they consume a lot of electricity, and well, it's the best that we're going to get. Now, we are using a bio sun lamp. Bio sun lamp means that anything within its catchment radius, kind of like a sun lamp, will grow even in darkness. But in this case, it grows at night time. So, that means Devil Strand takes, it's like 22 days, isn't it? Yeah, 22 days growing time. Which by itself is obviously quite a long time, but it's more like 45 because of nighttime and stuff. Now we put them in hydroponics, they get a 280% growing speed buff to it. So let's, for argument's sake, let's just call that 8 days. So this will be growing day and night. So yeah, we should be able to start kicking out a decent amount of Devil Strand fairly quickly. Whatever we don't use we can sell, because Devil Strand sells for a very, very pretty penny. And this should be enough. Now we are going to have to go this side on it as well, just so we can try to capture the actual like perks of it. But then the bits that aren't going to get it anyway, that's not a massive issue, just because the hydroponics will make the Devil Strand grow faster. Then if everything starts going proper peak tong, we just wall it in, roof it, and then just put more bio sun lamps into the places that we're going to need them to keep that Devil Strand going. Devil Strand's not super exciting, it's really not, but it is something that we need, otherwise we are super duper duper dead. Helmets, everyone's got them. Masks, everyone's got them. And we now have our laser tech. But we are not going to start kicking out these flashlights just yet. We are going to go and start producing the hotshot laser guns. And then with those hotshot las guns, we might actually have a chance of shooting through some orcs. Right now, we are relying on bigger guns, so we have 3 autocannons over here. These autocannons are decent. They're not bad, but they're not very good at hitting small, fast-moving targets. So if they have squigs in the front, then we're in a bit of trouble. If they use colossal squigs, yeah, we should be pretty decent against them. And because we do have a choice. We can put down some heavy machine gun turrets. We could put down some quad heavy stubbers. That machine gun turret is considerably better, mind you. And we can also put down a couple las cannon turrets, which is going to super ruin anything day that's big and heavy. Centipedes, colossal squigs, big old orc wall bosses are going to get absolutely nuked by it. And then it's just going to be a matter of tapering across on this side as well. So we have this area secure, and then just filling this full of all manner of barbed wire and traps and all that fun stuff. So we've got to hold the line. Classic tribal style, they have decided to not go through our defences, but start hollowing out this rock area for some reason. I'm not going to ask too many questions. They can go do themselves. But they are going to go through the walls here, which is slightly annoying. Which means that, yeah, that mistake we made earlier about removing this section, we need to put that back in, because that should deter the sappers from coming through. Other side, we could also just put a couple guns up here, and then they won't come through this way again. But this here is going to be a very quick, very easy fix. Now, it's not that they can do much from here. They come out, we shoot them. It's going to be pretty one-sided. And these turrets are designed so they can't shoot across, which means very little chance of friendly fire. There's going to be a whole bunch of fire coming down on them from here. And so long as they don't draw in too close, we should be fine. Augustus, give you war speech. And the bodies will just pile up there. And Gnu, why are you always in the front, buddy? Every time. So Gnu still has no armour, which means all he's got is a trench coat, which doesn't offer much in the way of trying to keep him alive. You guys push through here, you guys go along there, and then come across the top. And we just want to take a few more of them down, because these guys we can turn into camp fuel, and also their clothes we can strip down, and some of them might be wearing Devil Strand. We're not looking to reinforce our ranks at the moment. Gnu's got 6 hours, Selma's got 12, and Cowboy's got 7. And in classic Empress Evil, the drought just lifted, and then we just get smacked by a toxic fallout. So these Devil Strands that are 56% grown are probably going to end up getting wiped, which is annoying. That's a big problem. And for some reason over here, when we go in the hydroponics, we can't put in any Devil Strand, which means going to have to update the mod list and put something in so that we can grow Devil Strand off it, because without the Devil Strand, we are stuck in trench coats. And so far, none of the traders have been selling any. So if we can't grow it, we can't buy it, therefore we can't create armor. We can't create armor. We are pretty dead. Yeah, pretty dead would be a valid reasoning behind it, so gotta get that sorted. We are starting to put in some barbed wire along here, which hopefully should mess up some people's approaches. And as we just talked about a minute ago, granite walls into this section, and that should deter most things coming through along this bit. Then all we do is we remove this wall, put a door into there, and what's going to be the best section to tunnel through? I think we just wipe that section, and then everything that comes on this side of the map will come through and around to here. So all roads lead to the kill zone in one form or another. And with that, I do need to bring the episode to the end. So thank you very much for watching the Steel Legion. I've been Conzi. All your likes, comments, sub support have been amazing. You guys are awesome, and I'll catch you on the next one.